Hello and welcome to your 2022 roundup on DMU News. I'm your host, Amy Haig.
And Tom Duckers, discussing some of the top stories this year.
One of the biggest stories this year was the passing of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. Ruling for 70 years and living for 96, she was the longest ruling monarch in UK history.
We therefore sent one of our reporters to ask some members of the public their opinions, now that the Queen has passed.
We're in Leicester today to talk about the Queen and the memorable things that she did for the public. Let's go have a look at what they said. What did the Queen mean to you?
They're a family that give you an idea of family, you know, so that, I guess, they're a figurehead. She's a figurehead.
Leader of our state for many, many years.
Always there.
Always there.
What did you feel when she died?
A bit uncertainty because I don't know if Charles is as capable as his mum.
In the lifetime that the Queen had, is there anything impactful that you remember that she did?
Probably been head of the Commonwealth, opened the doors for a lot of Commonwealth countries and shared the wealth. So.
Parties, the coronations, the jubilees, and you know, she's brought a lot to the country. Yeah.
That was the impact the Queen's death has had on the public in Leicester. Back to you in the studio.
A very interesting perspective from the public about the Queen's death. How do you feel about it?
I do feel like it's the end of an era, but, you know, all things have to come to an end and we've got King Charles now, so it's what it is.
We are now going to see how students are dealing with their life after COVID and find out if they preferred learning online or in person.
For many students, the excitement of moving to university comes from the freedom of living without parents and making new friends with flatmates and coursemates. For 2022 students, however, these possibilities were taken away from them due to the coronavirus pandemic and lockdown. University was a very different experience for them as they had the bare minimum of lessons and barely any face-to-face teaching. The second year opened up a little bit more in 2021 due to lockdowns easing, however it still wasn't a normal year of university. We are now here on DMU campus to talk to some third years about how this year is different for them and how their experience has been overall. How has uni changed for you throughout the pandemic?
So obviously before the pandemic, we were going in as usual, and then the pandemic hit and we just had online lessons, and it didn't really feel like we were actually going to uni. It just felt like this weird thing. But now, it's great. It's you're in the flow of it. It's epic.
I'd say it's changed a lot. It's a lot more in person, in depth now.
It was tough actually. The classes were offline and we enjoyed, but sometimes it's feel frustrated because we love to attend the classes.
So that was the students on campus there telling us their experiences of university after the pandemic. This has been Amy Haig reporting for DMU News. It is nice that students are able to go back on campus and starting to experience university the way it was intended to be.
Although COVID-19 has subsided and the world is becoming more active as things have returned to normal, another serious issue has arisen affecting people in the UK, which is the current cost of living.
Today we invited a member of the public onto the programme to share their experience of the crisis. Over to you, Luke.
Thank you. I'm joined here by Kane Bennesley, a local student from De Montfort University. Now, Kane, cost of living crisis, you as an individual, how has it affected you?
As an individual, it hasn't really affected me other than maybe less buying a Tesco meal deal for every day.
You had to make a choice, Dave, you had to make a change. I'm sure, though, those around you, it's had a far greater effect.
It's had a far greater effect. One of my mates who working for the council has now had to choose either food or rent.
Which we hear all the time. It's, you either put your heating on or you eat that day, and it's hard for loads of families. So he's had to make the same choice.
He's had to make the same choice. He's had his family to help him, but they've not always been able to provide that, everything. He's had to start skipping lunches and stuff, which is I'm sure we didn't dream of this time a year ago, but it's no surprise. With 16% inflation on food, 26% on housing and bills and all that, it's just everything's going up. It's the worst it's been since just after the Second World War even, which of course caused loads of issues. But we're getting quite gloomy now and quite grim as the whole programme's been. But we'd like to bring it up a touch now. We'll talk about TV for the year, seeing as we're rounding off the year. This year's Kane, TV, what would you say has been a standout? This year, for a standout for me, Stranger Things.
The latest series, yes.
The latest season, season 4. It's been worth the wait from the post-pandemic
It's been about 3 years since their last season, I believe.
And I love that they've managed to bring in Robert England involved, who
of course played Freddy Krueger in the original Nightmare on Elm Street.
And he also gave pointers to the guy who plays Vecna and stuff like that, which made the character feel more threatening than...
Oh, there's a definite vibe there. I mean, it's done very well. It was the highest Netflix stream show ever. It broke the record, didn't it, for them?
Yes.
I believe, which was held by Stranger Things before that as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it was
which is
season 3 of Stranger
season
Things.
3, yeah, it's quite funny, yeah. But yeah, no, and practically as well, the show, it was very impressive this year. The design work was absolutely brilliant. Unfortunately, that's all we've got time for over here, but hopefully we can keep up the positive mood with you guys back there.
Thank you, Luke and Kane. So yeah, continuing on a more positive note, Christmas is just around the corner.
So let's see what people of Leicester have to say about it.
And we're here today in Leicester City to get people's opinion on Christmas.
I think Christmas decorations should be put up in November, personally, end of November. But I love Christmas, so I think
1st of December, personally, yeah.
I think December 1st, and that's when it's got.
I think, same.
It's wonderful. It's very festive atmosphere and like the lighting decoration, the fun fairs, and the best thing I would say, the ice skating.
Hanging about with my nephews, that's the best present I could ask for. Seeing how messy they could be and how they can let loose on Christmas Day, because they know they will get away with it.
Personally, favourite Christmas was last year, 2021, when she was born. Obviously, I had the first one as a family, so yeah, I think last one was that one.
And that's the Christmas spirit of Leicester back to the studio.
It's so nice in the town lit up with all the lights there. Did you go to the switch on, any of you two?
I did. It was quite anticlimactic, I won't lie, but you know, it's nice to join in on the festivities, have a bit of community.
There was a big crowd when we went.
It was very busy, wasn't it?
It was raining though.
But
it was spitting. You were English.
You've got the festiveness, haven't you? So the rain doesn't really matter. But I thought it was funny because they played the radio, and obviously because on the radio they still talk about serious stuff. And out of nowhere, it's all Christmassy and playing Christmas music, and out of nowhere, just started talking about
the cost of the Christ.
There was a bit of a switch in the vibe there, but I guess
takes away
they
from
have to report on something.
Isn't it, really?
It was nice to be involved, I suppose.
Yes, well, speaking of Christmas and the whole year itself, highlights from the year. Anyone got one?
It's hard. I don't know. I can't think of highlights.
I mean, you falling in that lake.
Oh yeah, that was.
I still need to see this video.
Oh, it's amazing. You got drenched.
It was in the summer, so. It took me about 10 minutes to dry off anyway.
That's not the point, you look hilarious.
It's like 36 degrees anyway, I mean, dry off in seconds.
This time of year as well does remind me of the Christmas party. I mean, do you want to take the Christmas
party? Last
year's Christmas party?
I mean, there's not really much to say, is there?
I think there's quite a lot to say from what I've heard of it.
What we can say on television, I think, is where we're limited.
Just had a bit of fun, really, with
what?
With things, you know?
With things. They were living things, I found.
Yes, living, breathing things.
Aside from some things.
A ferret, I do believe I was seeing.
It was just a fun Christmas. It was a fun Christmas.
I didn't even want to see. I left at that
left.
point. I left. I was like, this is enough for me.
I don't know why I stayed, but I stayed, and I wish I hadn't, because it's etched my mind, and I still can't look at this.
I don't think I'm getting invited to the next party.
No.
No.
Absolutely not. But, just carrying on the Christmas theme, do you guys have a favourite Christmas song? Because I love Christmas music.
I mean, I do. But I don't want to say mine. Do you have one, Tom?
I don't really have one.
I mean, I love Do They Know It's Christmas?
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
I love
Do They Know It's Christmas by Band Aid?
I mean, maybe if with some Christmas magic, do we get some played?
Oh, it's playing.
I'm going to have to put the collar up. I'm going to have to go for it.
You're going to have to sing.
Christmas time. That's all you're getting. That's all anyone's getting.
You can't just tease the viewers like that. You've got to give a bit more.
I can, because you've got to leave them wanting more. If people heard my full rendition of this, the world isn't
I think they would be blown away.
People would
run away.
They wouldn't run away.
They would run away.
People would love it.
I mean, I love it from what I've heard of that 10 seconds, but...
See? I've already got a fan. You hate everything I do.
Yeah,
and it's why I get % better with Amy than I do with you.
All right.
It's a bit of rivalry. I'm going to stay out of this. I'll just...
Anyone got any plans for this Christmas then? Before we do go?
I think I'm just going home, to be honest.
Yeah.
Spending time with some family. Hopefully my nan's out of the hospital.
Well, bring it down a bit there.
Well, unfortunately,
it would be nice.
Not to leave it on a sad note, but that is all we've got time for today. So thank you everyone for joining us, and I hope that whatever you're celebrating at the end of this year, you have a great time. We're your hosts, Amy Haig,
Tom Duckers,
and Luke Ware. We'll see you all later. Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.